King and queens, I hope everybody is doing good, doing great. Take care of your health. Stand to yourself. Remember, a slow grind is better than no grind. So we gradually growing. We're going to continue to do that. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. If y'all don't remember, well, maybe some of y'all don't. Let me refresh y'all memory. And also, too, let me put some of y'all up on game and inform y'all. This young lady had a video on TikTok where she was basically explaining in the video that she called her engagement off. Some people didn't like it. Some people felt like she was too happy to be calling her engagement off. She gave no explanation. She was basically just saying, I'm walking into a new space in life and I'm going into that space of life single. And she also kind of gave credit to the dude who she was engaged with and said that he did nothing wrong. So let's see actually what went wrong, because she didn't explain it then, but she's doing a podcast about it now. So I'm guessing she's going to go more into details about it. So let's get into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into this video.
We're in a sensitive space. I don't want anybody to think that the decision that you made was taken lightly. People can assume that. People can look at it and see you smile in the video and make it seem like you're some savage woman. But I really, truly believe that you're a woman of God, and that when you made this decision, consulting with the Holy Spirit. Is that an assumption I'm making?
No, not at all.
Okay. And so a lot of women desire marriage. A lot of women wait for the day that someone gets on their knee and propose to them. You had that moment. Was that the first time that's ever happened to you?
Ending an engagement?
No, having an engagement.
Yes, it was. Yes,
first time somebody ever proposed to you, and you made the decision to end it. Why is this making you emotional?
We were together for 4 years. And I think when you enter relationships, you never enter it thinking that it's going to end. What makes it a lot harder, I think, is being online and sharing so much. You know, I share everything, my whole entire life. I shared when I tore my Achilles.
This is why you have to be sure and stand firm on you sharing something that's so personal, because it may come back to haunt you. See, in the moment you're probably thinking, oh yeah, this is good, and you know, women's freedom and, you know, empowering women and all of that. You didn't think it was going to come back to bite you in your butt. A lot of people was on her head. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people was on her bumper about, like, why are you happy? You know what I'm saying? Again, like he said in the beginning, you got something that women are fighting to have. You got it right here at your doorstep, and then you saying he didn't do nothing at all, and you just canceled it and you just said, nah, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of making light on a situation where a lot of people deem as the most serious situation. You know what I'm saying? You got women that will probably never get engaged or, you know, proposed to. So they felt like you was playing with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So got to be careful and cautious. And then today's time on the internet, I always talk about this because it's so contradicting. The internet will praise you for posting the highlights of your life, and then they will shame you for it. Same with being vulnerable. You got some people that can respect it. Like me, I respect both sides. People that show, you know, their accolades and achievements and the money and the cars and the houses. I think it's dope. And I also think it's very helpful. And I think it's a good insight to know that people are still real when they post vulnerable videos. Me, I like both sides of it. But you got people that hate the vulnerable. Why are you coming on here crying? Why are you coming here telling all your business? And you got the other people that's like, you know, thank you for doing it. So you just can't win with the internet, man.
Share everything. And so for me, my platform has always been about being authentic. And that meant also sharing, ending my engagement. And that in and of itself was really, really hard. And I also, you know, just having to share it publicly too. But that was a choice that I made. Being in social media is a choice that I made. That's a career that I chose to be in. And so when you're dealing with something so personal, but also it's public, it just makes it 10 times harder.
Well, I'm going to let Ashley lead in this. What would you like to ask her about that?
I love that you're transparent. I think that's going to help a lot of people. Would love to just hear a little bit about, what happened. Everyone may not have seen the post. So we're starting from scratch, and just bring us up to speed if we're not aware what happened.
Okay, so before she dived deep into what happened, I want to say this. I respect the fact that she's transparent. I respect the fact that she's vulnerable and honest and all that on the internet. And if you're going to do that and you cannot take the backlash and the criticism and the comments, pay it no mind. Stop going through the comments. Or do this blindly. Just go and like all of it. Just go and like all of it. Don't even read all of it. Just go and like, love, like. That way you'll still see some sense of engagement. Well, the website will see, okay, this person is still engaging. You don't have to read all them comments. You don't have to read every DM. You don't have to read everything that somebody is sending you. You don't have to open it. So maybe you need to do a better job at protecting your peace when it comes to that too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It was never like one specific thing. I think when he and I met, I was so young. We were long distance. I was a news anchor in Waco, and he was living in Dallas. And
Give us age. You say so young. What is that? How old are you?
I was, I think, 26 or 27.
Okay.
And so, well, I'm 31 now, so what's 31 minus 4?
Yeah.
So I was in Waco and we were long distance, and I think the things that I wanted in a relationship from a man at that time were very different than what it is today and what it's been the last year. We were so young, and we were honestly, like, the thing that I was so attracted to about him was that he was just so fun, and we connected on so many different things. We used to go to the gym together. Honestly, we were going out a lot, just going out to the club and just living a fast life. And as I grew older, those things became less important to me. And I think the things that he and I connected on were no longer there. So we weren't going out. We weren't working out together. We were barely hanging out together and doing things that, build emotional intimacy. So I think that was the biggest change, was he was no longer my best friend. He became my roommate.
And so y'all were actually, when you say roommate, y'all were actually living together at this time.
Yeah.
How long were y'all dating before y'all decided to move in with each other?
I believe 2 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Yes.
So when did you relocate from Waco to Dallas?
In 2022.
In 2022. And so at what stage, y'all were engaged for 8 months before you called it off. Were there any, let's go back to the moment that, we're going to go ahead and put this in reverse. How did y'all meet?
Social media.
So I met on social media. Did you slide in his DM? Did he slide in yours? What was it?
I followed him on.
It sounded like he grew bored of the relationship, or she grew bored of the relationship, and their intentions started to go elsewhere. Because I think that's a common thing for you to move in with somebody and things stop. The partying stop. You know what I mean? They're just going out to do random things, especially clubs. I really don't see the benefits of people in a relationship going to a club. I think the club is primarily for single people, but that's a whole other topic we could talk about. But I think the interest, I think the intentions, I think all of that starts to fade. I think maybe he even started to redirect or reconsider his position in the relationship. Maybe he got bored. I have no idea, but I think these are conversations that need to be had, and they're unhealthy conversations. And I preach that on this channel. I always say that, you know what I mean? Those conversations need to be had. And even if they don't go the way you want them to go, at least you were honest with yourself and your partner enough to lay things out for things to be fixed. Because if they just go unsaid and, nobody mentions anything, then it leads to situations like this. And I don't know if she's more hurt about it being public or them splitting. So hopefully she talks about that.
Instagram, and then I was kind of like waiting on him to slide in my DMs, and then he wouldn't. So I was like, I followed him for like 2 weeks, waiting for him to say something. And just when I was about to unfollow him, he messaged me, and he responded to a story of my Apple Watch, and it was me ending a workout. And I thought I was so slick. I was like, oh, something about let's do like a workout competition or something, but I need your number to
Shots fired.
And so he gave me his number, and then I remember his area code was 816. So he was from Kansas City, and then that was kind of our connection there. And then honestly, it kind of just happened so fast. Yeah, I mean, he was exactly what I needed at that time.
And then when did y'all take it from just a DM exchange to now we go together?
Yeah.
Real bad.
I had driven to Dallas a couple times. I went with my roommate at the time, Madison. We drove to Dallas. We went out. He used to have a hookah business. So he was doing something at like a rooftop. And so we met him there. And that was our very first meeting. And I really liked him. He was really kind. He was sweet. Very attractive.
Oh, he's in the nightlife.
So, and we just stayed in touch. And he was driving back and forth from Dallas to Waco to see me, and I was, doing the same on the weekends.
Did y'all know each other's families? Did you get to? At what point did you meet his family? And
I want to say. I know it was in November because I had gone home with him for Thanksgiving, and we went on a big family cruise, and that was the first time I'd really met like everyone. I met his dad first on accident, and then
on accident.
On accident. He surprised him. He flew to Dallas, and he just so happened to just kind of surprise him, and he was like, I'm here, and he was like, oh shoot, so is she, so I guess we're doing this. And
and so I like to, so in the book Student of Love, I teach people how to define your core values and then date according to your core values. What you said at the very beginning is something that's making my ears perk up, because you said what I liked or desired back then changed just 4 years later. So my question to you is, what were you looking for back then? Because you might, if I ask you something like, what was your core values then, it may go over your head. You're like, I'm 27 years old. I'm not even thinking about a core value. He looked good.
Yeah.
So you may just, and we like to go hang out. He was fine.
Yeah.
It's that, which has nothing to do with core values, which is even interesting. What was it that attracted you to him? You said y'all went out, he looked nice. Did you think further than that to say, this is what I desire in a husband, or were you just here for, you wasn't even thinking like that?
Yeah.
It was more casual that progressively turned something more permanent.
Were you so geeked up over the idea? I think that's what he's asking. No, I know that's what he's asking. Were you geeked up on an idea of something, or did you have everything that you truly wanted in this person? Did you think this out? This is what y'all got to start paying attention to and really considering prior to moving in with a person, even just laying down with a person and giving this person your time, energy, and effort. These things are important. You know what I'm saying? This is why everything should be intentional, or you'll end up in situations like this where you're just another pretty face that, I'm not gonna say use and abuse, but it served its time, it ran its course, and now it's over with. Because to go back into the nightlife situation, he owned a hookah spot, so he's seeing joints. He in Kentucky, he in Dallas. Oh yeah, so he, just gotta be careful and cautious.
I think so. I had been single for I think a year and a half before I met him, so I didn't think that it would turn into what it turned into. Honestly, I wasn't very intentional, I would say. But at the same time, I did know, I wanted someone who was a man of God, who, went to church. His family, he comes from a great family. He grew up going to church, and
That don't mean shit.
I knew I knew the things, but I don't think that I put emphasis on those things and really was like intentional in that. And so in the 4 years we've been together, I can count on one hand how many times he and I went to church together. So I said I wanted that, but I also wasn't intentional in, making that effort, I think. And so now,
And or did you address that? This is the thing. You can say all of this stuff now, but in that moment, in the times where you felt like, oh, we're not going to church, or we're not doing the things that I want to do, or that I would like for, my partner to be indulged in and engaged in, did you have those conversations? Did you say that? Or were you just geeked up on the idea of, oh, I got this attractive man who has his own business, and my friends is geeking over him, and you know what I'm saying? I'm on this high because I like him.
As a 31-year-old woman, and I'm really, looking for alignment in my relationships, even with friends, not just romantic relationships either. I am very, I know exactly what it is I want.
And what is that?
I want emotional intimacy, emotional safety, connection, definitely 100%. I have to have spiritual transparency, and definitely.
What does that mean? What is that? What is spiritual transparency? What is that? I've never heard. I know what those two words mean, but what does that mean for you? Spiritual transparency.
Just be equally yoked, and it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% equal, because when I'm not showing up the way that I want to, sometimes I expect my partner to hold me accountable and pick me up, and vice versa. But I do, think that is really important for me.
There's a bit of cognitive dissonance when you say, this is what I wanted. I wanted a man of God. I wanted this, and you
I don't know if he said that word. I did.
Admitted that what you desired, you recognized that it wasn't in alignment with your heart's desire, which is where cognitive dissonance comes into play. To elaborate more on that is this: whose idea was it to move in together?
Honestly, it was me. I was pushing to move in together. I was more so pushing for the engagement. I knew he wanted to get engaged. I know he wanted.
That mean you liked him more than you liked him more than he liked you. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like you forced him to do something that he financially for sure could do, and he probably whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything go left, I'll still be able to bounce back and be on my feet in no time, no matter what the situation is. And you tried to make it look like you were just, woman freedom and women empowering, and no, you liked him more. So then that was your way of feeling more of a validation thing. That was a validation kick. That's all that was for you when you made the video. And I'm not being harsh on you. I'm just being honest. I've been in situations like that before. You know what I mean? You try to one up yourself in a sense when for a fact in situations you have been the person that has, not done the work. Or you may have embarrassed yourself in a situation or felt like, dang, I didn't do what I was supposed to do in this situation. So, and to make me feel better, let me do this. This is going to make me feel better. And that video, that TikTok, that made you feel better because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in a relationship. You forced this man. Now, I ain't going to say force because you can't force anybody to do something, but you pressured him into making him feel like, okay, I got to do this. He probably likes you for sure. And I'm not saying he didn't like you or nothing like that, but it wasn't something that he probably was truly committed to, but he did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're not a bad looking woman. So he probably whatever, it is what it is.
To be married, but it was definitely me who was more we have to be engaged before we get married. Not get married. We have to be engaged if we're going to move in together. I at least want that. If we're, his parents were so adamant on us being.
Okay, I get it. We're going to end it right here though. It seemed like you had more of a pushy mindset. You know what I'm saying? Your actions were more pushy than anything. And if you were pushy without conversations in a respectful manner, then he lost interest. Simple as that. Facts. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. If y'all want to go watch the rest of this, what made her call off engagement? Naya Gonzalez, Dear Future Wifey, episode 1104. You can go check this out. But yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? Love, peace, and prosperity. Hello or goodbye. Talk to me. Do not let me be elevated to your head. We ain't bleeding yet. Spread love, not hate. I see y'all when I see y'all. Be great. All right. Come.